Good evening. Well, I don't follow the future, I design it, but it didn't start this way. So if I were to go back and tell my 15-year-old self, what is it that I'm going to do in the future? That's what I'm here to share with you. Today, we are working on some of the most cutting-edge technologies in sustainability, communities, creation of communities, and trying to put India on a global map. Why should we always follow? Why should we not lead? But what are the precise traits that have made us, the organization Della, and the DNA of the company, who we are? It all began with me in school. Got a cycle magazine. I forgot the name of the magazine. There was a Raleigh cycle on top. And my head started concocting a story as to how I could convert my BSSLR cycle into this Raleigh cycle that I saw on the cover. The rest is history. Piece by piece, I put it together. And by the time I finished my 10th, those days SSC, we didn't have IB, the cycle was looking identical to what was there on the magazine cover. Very little resources, very little money, middle-class Parsi family. However, I landed up achieving it. Fast forward, college, had a Yamaha RX motorcycle, and I dreamt of getting into motocross. Again, a magazine cover, a Yamaha YZ motorcycle. How could I convert this to this? And the rest of the story of my life has been exactly similar to the cycle and the motorcycle. Each thing we pioneered, we've dared to be different. We've always challenged the status quo. We've always not taken the beaten path. We've always had the ability to let people laugh at us. I'm a non-qualified designer. I practice design. I'm a non-qualified architect. I practice architecture. I'm a non-qualified master planner. I practice master planning. And then now we are creating some of the largest integrated townships across in the country. The challenge still remains the same. How do we create these? They become a differentiating factor. What's the moat? What will attract people to it? What different will we do? But there is something even more profound that we developed only when I was exposed to ideo design and ideo design thinking methodologies. It changed my way of thinking. Every single thing we do in life, why do we do it? It's the why that precedes every single step of our lives. Today, many, many years later of having done design thinking with ideo, we understand deeply within the DNA of the organization that purpose of business is not making money. Making money is a byproduct. The purpose of business has to be an impact that's going to be done for your society, for your community, for your city, for your country. Because without the impact, without the purpose behind and the cause behind doing what you're doing, it's frivolous. Today we are creating the world's first cellulogenic townships. Last week I gave a talk at COP30 at Brazil on how do we create and impact societies? How do we impact the AQI, the air quality index, that the country is suffering, and many, many cities across the world suffer with poor AQIs. We've been researching, utilizing the same traits that we've learned, challenging, questioning, asking why, researching, what is it that we can do, small steps that we can put into rapid prototyping, and how will it impact society. We started working with algae. Algae creates 50 to 70% more oxygen, consumes 50 to 70% more carbon dioxide. We started working not just on creating algae ponds, but the more difficult aspect, vertical hydroponics. When the rest of the world is busy creating salad leaves, we are focusing on creating algae, vertical hydroponic gardens. We are also working on a disruptional technology, which is going to be really, really disruptive if we find success. Packaging microalgae and creating a package system that we can attach to fresh air inlet ducts of air conditioning systems. This is going to create a natural purifying system that will give in more oxygen, consume more carbon dioxide, reduce the dust particulate matter within any environment. But what are the traits that allow us to do it? One, at the age that you guys are, I'm not intending the parents, I'm talking about the children for sure, allow yourself to stand in the middle of the road and dance if you wish to, if you think that's going to cause an impact. The biggest hindrance in your success, in your life of purpose, causing an impact to your country, to your society, is this one particular trait. Disconnect yourself from this trait. Allow yourself for people to laugh at you. So when I said I'll become an architect and I'll practice architecture, people laughed at me. I still remember going for presentations where 3 other architects sitting would be giving me those looks, and the unspoken language was very clear. What the F on earth are you doing here? You don't deserve to be here. I let my work do the arrogance and kept the humbleness below where I was standing. Each time we challenged the status quo, proved people wrong, created iconic designs, simply because we asked the question, why? Over and over and over again. Why should a client appoint us to do the architecture? What good will this building do? How will this building suffice the purpose and need of the city? How will it improve the lives of the occupants inside? So the trait is same, modifying the cycle, modifying the motorcycle to suit to a purpose. The trait is same even today. How can we improve people's lives in a living environment? I just spoke about creation of communities, salutogenic communities. This word salutogenic, we are not the inventors, but we are the first users in the world of real estate, not just in India, but globally. How do we create communities which are integrated? How can we redefine integrated townships within the context of India? And what purpose will it serve? Our purpose is simple, yet very profound. Very crystal clear. How do we add years to life and life to years? This profound statement has got us thinking, because we need to really, really dig deeper, create a process where from the DNA of our design, business model, and the foundation of these townships, we will start thinking every step of the way, what will be the effect of our design, what will be the impact of our operations on the occupiers of these townships? How will it allow them to increase the years of their lives and life to the number of years that are remaining for them to live? It would happen through biophilic architecture. It would happen through salutogenic living. It would happen through mindfulness zones. How do we define these mindfulness zones? The more we research, the more we come up with stuff which is simple, basic, foundationally correct, economical, sustainable, and impactful. But all of this is happening because we've set our purpose right before doing the business. For us, it's not a commercial enterprise. For us, the purpose of living is causing that impact. So to be a futurist, you need to define what is it that you have set forth to conquer, you set forth to achieve. Most of the kids at this age are never compelled. They are always asked to do their homework. They are always asked to reflect on different things. Apart from, right from a very tender age, being conditioned to start reflecting on what is the impact they wish to cause. Because at the end of the day, the purpose of life is to give, not just to receive. It has been an amazing journey for me, but the whole idea and purpose is also, how can we create many, many more design futurists? How can we create many more people who become startups, innovators? And what are the processes they imbibe and inculcate? How can we inspire them to make sure these impacts are felt by the country? Our country is at an inflection point, $7 trillion, $10 billion, whatever economy it grows to. How will it really impact human life? How will we impact it socially? How will we impact it environmentally? And at this tender age, when these become the very purpose of your existence, you start defying and challenging every single status quo that you come across. It is in the best interest of society and our education system that we imbibe the vision and the purpose of your existence at a very, very tender age. What is the impact you've chosen for yourself? And hence you'll mold your life into achieving this impact. Through a period of time at a tender age, this impact keeps pivoting again and again and again. Today, what means impact to me, tomorrow will be very different. The scale will be larger, maybe different, maybe smaller. But getting into the DNA of a human a child, this purpose of life is the responsibility of the parents and the teachers and the education system. If we become a nation of high impact individuals, empathetic individuals, design thinking individuals, process oriented individuals, it's a paradigm shift for a nation which comes in from a myth of jugaad. It is a very jugaad that has become the buzzword, but it's a matter of shame and not pride, because the future generations will remember you with the impact you've caused, and almost certainly the impact cannot be jugaad. The impact has to be well thought out, well inculcated into the DNA of the kids that are going to become tomorrow's generation. Thank you. Lovely speaking to all of you.